Be gone! Hi, hello, I'm MangaKamen. You might remember me as that one guy who hates on Ruby, keeps saying he's done with drama, and the lover of snow cones. And today I want to talk about the latest trash fire that is the Creepshow art drama in a slightly more serious manner than I normally do. I already talked about it once, but I feel as though with new information coming out, I feel it's necessary for me to talk about it at least one more time. Personally, I find the situation to be rather fascinating in how we go from a channel being at over 500,000 subscribers to dropping way past 400,000 in just a week. And I want to talk about the reason why. So get your booze, boys and girls. Let's talk. I know I have a bit of a bad habit about not explaining who is who in these sorts of videos, but I figured that considering the size of the people I talk about, that they'll be recognizable more often than not. And my logic is, if you don't know who this person is, why the hell are you watching this video? But hey, give me a minute to waste your time with some context. Creepshow Art, aka Shannon, was what you would consider an art commentator. If you're familiar with commentators, it's a branch of the commentary community that has a bit more focused on artistic topics, uses speed drawing as footage, and will often dip their toes into major kinds of drama. Personally, I think the art commentary community is a bit too nebulous of a term, since the community will drag anyone into it as a commentator among it, even if you have a hint of that sort of aspect to your content. Regardless of my gripes, Creepshow Art was a major part of the community, whether she liked it or not, having topped her sub count at over 500,000 subscribers. She was making tons of scratch, had adoring fans that would be willing to go to bat for her at the drop of a hat. And people would believe her without any question. It was something that almost every YouTuber could ever ask for. Creepshow was on fire. So, what the hell happened? It should be stated that when you're a public figure, you have a certain image to you. Despite what we're told when we're kids by our parents in countless Disney movies, people don't really care for what's on the inside. People care about what's on the outside, the surface. I know that sounds petty as all hell, but let's face it, it's true.
Popularity?
What, you think that's something only a teenager would want?
Well, sure.
Then you don't understand democracy. Under that system, it's the only path to power. As long as you're well liked by the majority, you can get away with anything.
I hate politics.
It's a fact of life. Most people who are popular don't need to worry about scrutiny from others because, hey, if you're well liked and seen as a good person, you don't need to worry about one or two little voices that are crying out against you. And sometimes it's stuff that can be ignored. Difference of opinion, someone blowing something out of proportion. So long as you got the masses on your side, anything is possible. You can brush off those people as if they were the vocal minority. But in order to get that power, you need to be well liked. And that's what Creepshow Art did. She crafted herself an image for the artistic community to look up to. There are plenty of people who will cite Creepshow Art as their inspiration. And not to cast shade and don't go after her, but another YouTuber named Nani did take inspiration from Creepshow. Again, don't take this to mean that Nani is a bad person. Hell, she recently put out a video saying she doesn't support Creepshow Art, and I think that's awesome. I'm just using her as an example of how people can, aspire for other creators. Then again, Prisonmate Luke, a commentator whom I've also criticized in the past for being boring and bad at his job, also cited to be inspired by Creepshow. And he got the worst aspects of her. Bravo. In any case, Creepshow managed to craft a loving, caring persona, almost like a motherly figure to the community, as some people have claimed, and with some fun takes like these.
You are a public figure who makes very public accusations and statements about everyone else being fraudulent and vile. So you cannot just excuse yourself from the table when that setting that you're benefiting from comes back to you.
Creepshow painted herself as a person who was a cut above the cloth, that she was a moral guardian, that she was a judge of those who did wrong. And hey, that sort of thing can work wonders for people. You'd be surprised how easy it is to drum up support for yourself when you're spouting out that sort of rhetoric, especially in today's social climate. Think about it for a second. Pointing out the toxicity of other creators, shining a spotlight on the stains that attack others, demonizing the actions of people who do terrible things. Naive as it is, no one would really call out someone who is pointing out all this terrible stuff. If anything, they'd get support for doing this sort of thing as well. It's practically praiseworthy. It doesn't matter who's atop the soapbox. Hell, you can even see it happening right now at this very second if you look up Creepshow art. Tons of people are making their own videos talking about the current drama because Creepshow is the current bad guy of this chapter of YouTube. Hell, probably expect a couple months down the line that The Right Opinion will probably make a video about that. And if he actually cites this video, I'll be fucking amazed. Even those who are less savory came out against her, but all it takes is a good image, a righteous cause, and people who can get a piece of that action by simply quoting Creepshow, sharing her videos, or even using her as a source that can feel satisfied that they're doing the right thing by spreading this kind of information around. And don't get me wrong, there are times where Creepshow has done good, but just because she's done good, it doesn't clean up the terrible actions that she's done as well. Regardless, once you have that public image and people are willing to support you, that's when you know you've made it. It's something that a lot of YouTubers do. After all, most of the time people play up a character for their channels to be entertaining. Even I do it. Granted, some of myself bleeds into the character, but hey, what can you do? The problem is, what Creepshow presented to her audience wasn't a fictional character. It wasn't an idealized person from fiction. She sold her channel an image as if she was 100% legit, that everything she stated was what she truly believed in, what she stood for, and what she thought was right and wrong. And that, my friends, is a dangerous game to play in. So here's the thing about being a shining beacon of hope to people. You have to maintain that shiny outer layer all the time, especially if you're an online personality. If you sell yourself as the beacon of all that is good and righteous and all that jazz, then even a single smudge can lead to some big problems. That isn't to say you can't get anything wrong if you make a claim, because depending on the claim, you can easily apologize for getting something wrong or try to make amends with whomever you would hurt. That stuff can hurt you, but it's damage that can be fixed and even make you out to be a better person since you're willing to admit that you messed up and grow from your mistakes. However, when it's the core of your personality, the core of your channel, that's when it can be a big problem. So now here's where I go to talk about the recent drama in a more condensed fashion, because people like to throw this in my face, and what I like to do is this. So not too long ago, an internet forum called Locale Farm accused Creepshow of being on their forums, basically talking smack, spreading gossip, and most funnily, apparently arguing about herself to herself.
Listen, we don't cotton to freaks round these parts. Scram, weirdo! Oh yeah? I don't polycotton to coping tropes.
As it turns out, the admin had revoked Shannon's anonymity and obtained Shannon's post through her IP address, owing for breaking the site's rules, such as anonymously advertising herself, deceptively posting about herself in the third person, and other commitments. The admin had also created a full post history, compiling her anonymous post reflected by the IP that was used for them. Some of the stuff included talking garbage about creators like Hopeless Peaches and D'Angelo Wallace, and was using contemptuous slurs for black people, transgender people, and disabled people.
Oh my god!
So that flies in the face of the whole I'm a good person persona. That alone is something that can be seen as a major issue for someone who's trying to paint themselves as an angel and a good person. A wolf in sheep's clothing, if you will. What also didn't help was Creepshow's reaction to this, or rather, the piss-poor reaction to this. Creepshow basically posted on her YouTube community page alleging that her concealed stalker had been impersonating her, and regarding the IP address that she had faked it. Which, one, how the bloody hell do you know it's your stalker doing it? This just happened. And two, that's not how IPs and cookies work. Many people have commented on her lack of knowledge of IP's functionality, cookie functionality, and a large portion of users criticized her high probability of lying throughout the post. Which, considering that when this all happened, Creepshow conveniently got hacked, yeah, I'm willing to think that, this seems like bullshit. There have been other things that came out about this, like Emily Artful, who made a 2-hour video that chronicled the abuse and harassment Shannon and her husband had put Emily through, with evidence. Granted, some of it wasn't the strongest around, and while she claimed that there were a ton of receipts to prove her claims, there was a lot of speculation going on with the video. Heck, a good portion of it was more focused on the boyfriend, who apparently is Creepshow Art's husband, but there was a lot of speculation going on, as I said. This isn't me disrespecting Emily, but I can't say that her 2-hour video is definitive evidence against Creepshow. Her husband? Yeah, the husband, yes. But Creepshow? It's not really that strong in regards to it on its own, but a Twitter user by the name of Kelvin Coulter came out with a slew of tweets that helped lend credence to Emily's claims that Creepshow was stalking Emily Artful, looking for her address, planning on harassing Emily,
either by sending her letters or prank calling her home, how she planned to leave hate messages on her videos, or DM her from burner accounts to spread hate. This is when I began to distance myself from Shannon. And if this is true, these are all things that Emily Artful has accused her of.
Granted, as I understand, at the time of me scripting this, there's still evidence to be found to confirm that these claims are true, so I have to allegedly again say to make sure that you understand this is an ongoing case. But if true, then it shows a pattern of behavior on Creepshow's part.
In 2017-2018. If you don't know what this was referring to, Emily Artful and some of the receipts that she provides, she says that she had IP traced Shannon, and the IP led back to a library that Shannon supposedly often used the internet at, or something like that. And apparently that library that she says the IP was traced back to is mentioned in the interview.
Still, with more evidence coming out, it would appear that the angel that Creepshow Art had painted herself was actually a devil. And when you out yourself like this, well, let's just say it gets people pissed off. Creepshow, at the point of me scripting this, has not responded to these claims. Instead, she's been deleting videos that have featured her stalker, which is very shady behavior if you're to ask me. Now, to cap this video off, I think it's appropriate that I give my own personal interactions with Creepshow, and I gotta tell ya, it's not as bad as other people's, but something to consider, and something I need to put out there. No, this didn't scar me. It's not as if Creepshow attempted to dox me. At least not to my knowledge. Nah. The first time I ever interacted with Creepshow was, oddly enough, over Hazbin Hotel. I had criticized another user, PK Russell, about his asinine takes on Hazbin Hotel, and I wasn't the only one who did so, but a lot of people made videos on his review that was garbage a few years back. Creepshow Art made a video about this, that to this day is still up.
Started making videos about why PK is wrong for not liking something in his personal opinion, which is kind of bonkers to me. Hey you, that opinion you have on something that you feel personally, yeah, that's fucking wrong.
And hey, my comment is still actually there. Neat! My first interaction with Creepshow was me butting heads with her over how she was willing to demonize people for daring to criticize PK Russell's opinion. And basically, not actually, doing research. Shock of all shocks, I know. Not long after, someone who was essentially a stalker of mine came into the situation and tried to stoke the fires. Thankfully, I managed to convince Creepshow to see through this dumbass's BS and denounce this person for the disgusting behavior. As I said in this tweet, Creepshow and I settled this like adults. Unfortunately, that would be the first time and only last time that we actually would settle things like that. This next part, and I will fully admit I do not have evidence to prove this conversation, at least until I get my Twitter archive. After the first incident, a few months go by and Creepshow messaged me out of the blue, asking if anyone was talking to me about her. Now, this conversation did happen, and even Creepshow Art has admitted in her video, Hopeless Peaches needs to stop. I had no idea she was referring to Hopeless Peaches at the time, but yes, this conversation did happen. She even alludes to it in this conversation in the video. Speaking of said video, it's in the same video where she accused me of being sexist, working on a document I had no part in, and some other really stupid things. Like how apparently I don't like Thuman's video, which, hey, I didn't know it was a crime if you didn't like someone's content. Granted, I still got a funny joke out of this whole situation, but I want to take a moment to highlight a few aspects of my interaction with Creepshow that reflect on this whole drama. 1. Creepshow is very insecure about herself. 2. She's willing to spread misinformation and not put the legwork in to make claims. 3. If you go against her, even in a minor point, she'll do what she can in order to discredit you. 4. She'll adapt to whatever social climate there is in order to come out on top. However, it's just that this time, she screwed up so badly that there is no going back from this. And if she does manage to succeed, then that's more sad on the part of people who basically believed her in the first place and put her in a position of power to begin with. Regardless, this has been a garbage fire on all ends. And frankly, it's been rather entertaining. I'm MangaKamen. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.